For me, I had a very patriarchal view of sex. It was performative for me, always seeking to become whatever the man wanted from a woman, always seeking to be their fantasy, to play the role long enough to hope he fell in love with me. It led me to never knowing myself, not knowing what I liked or wanted. With borderline personality disorder and trauma comes hypersexuality and a lack of identity. I learned from a young age that I was only a toy, worthy of something if a man thought so. I perceived sex like the rocks a siren would lure a man onto. If I could beguile them long enough with my sexuality, perhaps they would love me in the end, find value in my broken soul. In my first relationship, when the sex went away, I panicked. I was unsure what had happened. I equated being used for something as love. I think it's taken me to this age to even really know what love was without conditions. As a child, I was loved if I was being good. When I was bad, I was scolded and abandoned. This is what happens when children trigger their unhealed trauma in their parents. I have come to the realization that most of the men I have slept with in some way, shape, or form have used me. They probably thought I was consciously making the choice to sleep with them randomly, but that wasn't the choice I was making. I was hoping that by sleeping with them I would find love and be rescued from the turmoil of my broken heart. I was beyond naive and had drank up every and any romance novel, story of great love or silver screen portrayal of what love was. I saw the femme fatale as the empowered woman. I played that role, not knowing that the femme fatale always ends up alone or dead. Now I sit and I wonder what it's all about. The acts of sexuality just seem so disconnected from me, not knowing how to bring love and sex together. Sex has often been abuse, been pain, been rape in some form. The pejorative play acting of a role that wasn't me. Was there even a real me in there somewhere? What was she feeling? Often now I don't want to have sex, I don't want to be touched. The thought of it sometimes makes me feel sick. I don't know now how to disconnect the trauma of the abuse from the act of making love. To me, they are the same thing far too often. I'm in the mode now of trying to find my sexuality again, to rediscover, or perhaps even discover for the first time, my approach to my body and sexuality, without the male gaze being the launching pad for it all. I now know I can have love and not have to have sex for it. And for now, that is a beautiful thing. I'm not celibate, but the act of it all sometimes makes me feel sick if I think about it for longer than half a second, and it makes me shy away from it all. Sex is such a huge thing in our society. I am saddened that it's been cheapened, pushed to sell shit that we don't want and we don't need, to keep us fornicating and falling over ourselves, to sit in the base desires of the animal within us. I now yearn for the importance of it all, the sacredness of sex, the spiritual commune that comes with making love. I feel if you're a person who has experienced the worst sides of physicality with another human, it's like you can feel lost in it all and find that celibacy is a better option. I think it takes time to heal a trigger. Give yourself time and be patient with it all. It's a hard thing to process. I am trying to learn who I can be without the trauma, while still working through some of the trauma. We are strong and we are empowered. Many wouldn't have gotten to where we are now. So take your time and let yourself bloom when you are ready. There is no rush. We only have now.